Friends, of late we have been hearing lots about the 83 movie, but I have got a legend himself with me. You see the stars there, but I have a real star here with me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Sir, maybe I was a baby when the actual game happened.
Yeah, when you were a baby, I was an adult at that time.
You were born in some other state but brought up here and played for Karnataka team.
Yes, now I was born in Chennai. At that time it was Madras. And then my childhood was in Hyderabad because my father from Hyderabad, my mother was from Madras. And born in Madras, childhood in Hyderabad, and the rest in Bangalore.
So how fluently do you speak Kannada?
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ವರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಯಿಂಗ್ were all from outside Karnataka. At that time it was known as Mysore state.
Okay.
When I came into Bangalore at the age of 7 years, and in that area all the government quarters were there, D-type and C-type quarters were there. So on those basis, all the kids of that extension, Jai Mahal extension, were all from outside Mysore state. So we were all speaking English to one another, not in Kannada. That's how I couldn't get the fluency of Kannada, but I could manage, I can manage. Now I'm a pure Kannadiga.
You played for the Ranji here, Karnataka team, later on went to the national side. So how was the environment difference between the Karnataka side and the national side?
You see, there was no issue at all. It was all, there was no such ke bhai he's from Karnataka, he's from Hyderabad, or he's from Bombay or Delhi. You see, you're getting into an Indian team, not a Karnataka team or a Tamil Nadu team. Right? When you have an Indian team, there are players from every state. Whoever has performed well, right, he gets selected. So likewise, my consistency was at all levels, right from the school level to the Indian schools level, and then it was called Mysore State Junior level, and then senior level is Ranji Trophy. So I climbed up the ladder of success rung by rung on the ladder. I didn't go from one bottom rung to the topmost rung just like that. No. My performance said it all, and my consistency brought me into limelight. And this is how I was selected step by step. From the Indian schools, I came back very successful, showing my consistency. You see, consistency is the key to everybody's walk of life. If you perform with consistency, you're recognized, you're identified, and then you're selected wherever. So consistency is the best key for anybody. So this is my simple key which I have forwarded to all those listeners on your blog. Yeah, right. Blog, not block. Don't get yourself blocked. Blog.
So I just was going through your record today, and we had also bowled couple of overs, bowling also. So was it an experiment or was it by chance? How did it happen?
No. You see, in our time there was no coach, nobody to guide us what sort of talent we had, right? And nobody to tell us what aim is, what goal should be. It was a gifted ability into me, which probably there was the extra sporting blood flowing into me through my parents, obviously. I was told that my father was a good hockey player. In his time, what sort of hockey sticks he got, where he played, I don't know. And then my mother was a good ball badminton player in her school days, I believe. In those days, I don't know what sort of sports were played and how they were playing. But getting it from my parents, you see, is that extra sporting blood flowing into me. So my parents, particularly my father, was not very encouraging to take part in sports. You see, he was only grilling into my head, pado, read, get a graduation certificate, get a government job. So on those basis, I was on the sly playing, taking part in all sporting activities at the school. So I was excelling into every sport. So on those basis, I'm coming back to your question which you asked me. Okay, bhai, now in the Indian team, we gel with one another. You have to gel with one another to bring a good result to your team. Right, I cannot say, oh no, he's from this Madras state, I will not take catch of his bowling, etc. No, you cannot. You cannot be thinking in that fashion at all. Nobody thinks in that fashion. You see, our mind was, okay, bhai, you have to play for the honor of the country. Keep the tricolor flying high. This was our intention of my era of cricketers. I'm sure none of us from my era of cricketers, say the 83 champions, nobody told them to go and play cricket. They all came on their own accord, on their own capabilities, on their own strength. And then after we won the World Cup 1983, which we ourselves did not know whether we will qualify to the knockout stage. You see, that knockout stage would have been the biggest achievement for all of us. Right, and some of us they came up with statements later on. Okay, I was on a holiday, I wanted to enjoy England. And one of them said, I am on my honeymoon via England, he said. You see, this is the kind of thinking we Indian cricketers had before we left the shores of India to participate in the Prudential World Cup. So, but the first turning point, which I'm sure you will all see in the World Cup 83 film. I'm sure you all guys should see that on a bigger screen. Don't see it on the cell phone or your TV screen, no, you will not enjoy it. But seeing on the bigger screen in a theatre, and it shows how you should inspire yourself, how you should motivate yourself, not only in cricket, in all walks of life. This is my advice to all those listeners, all those who are watching this blog. Okay, so on those basis, the very first match of the tournament, we played against the reigning world champions, West Indies. They ruled cricket for nearly 2 decades. So on those basis, the very first match, right, we won over the world champion, reigning world champions who had won the inaugural 1975 World Cup. 1979 World Cup they had won, and they were gunning for a hat-trick. So on those basis, I think we beat them comprehensively. And then from there on, we never looked back. We were the 4th weakest team in the competition. We had nothing to lose. Right? When we won that first match, that gave us a boost to the entire teammates. You see, there was so much of confidence, self-confidence into one another. Each one believed in the capabilities and the strength they all possessed. And we were 7 seniors to Kapil Dev, who was a junior. You see, now we all knew our responsibilities. We all knew what we should be doing. We all definitely joined our hands together and gave everything for the sake of keeping the tricolor flying high. No looking back, no giving back. Now, fight it out. We have beaten the world champions now. You see, it makes a world of an impact when you beat the world champions in the very first encounter, right? And we bottleneck the rest of the stronger teams in their complacency, and which plays a very important role in everybody's, when anybody is complacent on their professions or in their whatever field they are confident about. You see, that complacency should not creep into anybody, which shows negative result. This is what exactly all those stronger teams would have felt. Hey, yeah, we thought we will beat these guys being minnows of the entire tournament. Now, by the time they could realize, we had tightened the snooze into their necks. They couldn't come out of it. And this is the secret of our winning the World Cup.
Coming back to another crucial match, the Zimbabwe match.
Yeah.
had lost. And when you came in, only Kapil Dev was on the other side, and maybe all the top guys had gone out. And what was your feeling inside?
You see, I've been
Like
blessed.
legends like Sunil Gavaskar, Amarnath, all had.
Sunil was 0. They were. We were 17 for 5. You see, normally I don't get batting. I was never considered an all-rounder. 7 all-rounders in front of me. I was the 7th one, but never considered. And so on those bases, I was relaxed that I will not get batting. Most of the one-day games, I was not getting batting at all. The all-rounders would take over, and I was only wicket-keeping, right? Nevertheless, so on those bases, I was totally relaxed in the dressing room with having my breakfast, and then for a good shower, preparing myself for a good shower, and then go on watching our great players perform in the middle. While in the washroom, while in the dressing room, suddenly one of the players shouted, "Hey, Kiri, bat up, man!" बोल के पुकारा. I was wondering, guys are pulling my leg, बोल के I ignored that. And within 2 minutes, another big call. "Hey, क्या कर रहा है यार? Bat up यार!" बोल के पुकार दिया. ये क्या हो रहा है भाई? Why so serious shout? So, holding my towel and holding the toast in my between my teeth, I peeped through the window to see the scoreboard first. क्या हो रहा है बोल के. When I saw 17 for 5, that gave me a big surprise. And with that surprise, the toast also fell off along with my towel down below. Oh my God. I looked left and right. I hope nobody has seen me. Luckily, nobody was in the dressing room at that time. And so I picked up my towel. I don't know whether I had a good shower, whether I had a good breakfast. I was walking inside. All the top batsmen and the top all-rounders were sitting inside. When we were from 17 for 5, we were 128 for 8 when I walked in. God has blessed me with a system where I don't panic. I don't go into crisis. I don't feel that, yes, the best foot forward, put your best foot forward. That was always I have done that, Does not matter whether the team is in trouble or anywhere the crises are taking place. I'll be very cool and I'll be very compact with my confidence. I'll do my best at all times. So I went up to Kapil and said, "Listen, Kapil, we are in a do or die situation at the moment, right? Now we cannot just go down just like that." And in Hindi I told him, "हमको ऐसे ही मरना नहीं है. हमको अगर मरना है तो मार के मरने का है." Right? We cannot just give up like that and die like that. Yeah, we have to fight, and if we have to die, we'll die fighting. So why give up? So I said, "You are the best hitter of the Indian team." "You, nahi Kiri bhai," he said, "we have to play another 24, 28 overs. We were 60 overs at that time. We have to play 60 overs. So on those bases, he said, "We have to play another 25 or 30 overs. We have to play, Kiri bhai." I said, "Don't worry. I will give you the maximum best stand which I've always been doing to the Indian team. So on those bases, I'll play one delivery. I'll give you 5 deliveries. I'll take 1 run and give you 5 deliveries. You don't have to play, you have to hit." So from there on, we had a 124 runs partnership, and that's where we created history. I've never seen any player playing such fantastic batting effort until date in a situation and circumstances like that. He devastated the entire bowling of Zimbabwe bowlers, and then obviously 175 not out Kapil Dev, and yours sincerely was 24 or 28 not out. If I had not given that stand to Kapil Dev, forget the World Cup. So I'm not trying to take that credit by saying that, but normally it is Kapil's great knock of 175 is always spoken. But the one who gave him the stand, you know what I mean. The media only highlights 175 of Kapil Dev. They don't say who's the one who gave him that support. He was 50 plus when I walked him, right? And from there, 124 runs partnership, who gave it? The rest one were all sitting down, and Ballu was the last man sitting behind me, and he was shivering in his trousers. Kya ho raha hai yaar? I hope I don't get batting everybody and Ballu. Nevertheless, yes.
So once you won the World Cup, how was your reaction? How did Kapil Dev react? And what did he say to you?
No, we couldn't believe that we were the world champions. We couldn't believe that we have created history. But let me tell you, we taught the entire cricketing fraternity of the whole world that the weakest team in the competition can beat the champions on that particular day or on that particular year. You know, you got to have that luck also supporting you. The luck will only support anybody in any discipline of life only when they are true and honest in their efforts. This is the key.
Nice also. Because your entire conversation has been giving one or the other lesson from during each of our
Absolutely. You see,
lessons.
this is the least I can give it to all those who are watching the blog or who are reading or who are going to see me. You see, this is the least I can give back to those followers or the youngsters or anybody for that matter. These are the keys to lead a successful life. You know what I have said in my interview with you. I keep on passing on the messages of success.
So my last question for the day, but on a humorous side. I heard that when you went to meet the Queen, you were dressed up differently. Can you tell me something about that?
No. You see now. You see, in those days in '83, there was this move by the guys, UK guys, who would shave their heads, their eyebrows, their mustache, everything cleanly shaven, and they were called the skinheads. They were called the skinheads. And those skinheads are known to be gundas from our language, and who are, troublemakers. So I didn't want to go into the streets like that, so I had to wear a wig and on the field, no problems. From there on, that's how they have depicted in that movie. Also, meeting the Queen. I think while meeting the Queen, I was like this.
Okay.
I was like this only, meeting the Queen, only on the photograph, I think I was sporting a wig at that time.
I thank you wholeheartedly and thank Dr. Madhuri and
Yes.
Dr. Krishna Prasad
Yes.
for actually making this possible.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
All the
And
best to you.
it has been a real blessing talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
sir.
And all the best to all you guys. Wish you the best of 2022 with good health and happiness and prosperity. Look after yourself. Stay healthy. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.